It's really loud.
It's a lot of patience.
Are you known for having the patience in the family, Josh?
He's chill. He's like,
Yeah. Anybody got tips on this one?
no.
Look, I seen it!
The scrap of wood on here is most likely already tilted. Is that the sun?
What?
Is that the sun?
No, this is the sun.
That's the sun?
So what's above the sun?
I don't know. It's just like
The universe.
Yellow.
Wow.
I need like a really small brush.
How would you describe your grandma?
Invincible.
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 Invincible. Why?
One word to describe grandma? Classy.
Awesome.
Invincible.
Invincible.
Tell me why.
Because she had a heart attack. She had two surprises of cancer, and like she like gets injured almost every day, and she broke her collarbone, so she's invincible.
I think I'd describe her as creative. I mean, that door over there, that door over there started out from nothing.
Yep, she has a lot of stuff that the marking around here that
Oh,
shows her
yes.
creativity, doesn't it?
Oh yes.
Yard art. It's yard art.
Wonderful yard art. Well, whimsical, I call her.
Yes.
It would be unfair to
Who's
talk
most
about
like mom?
Becky.
Probably back.
You think so? Would you agree?
David,
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've got
Let the in-laws
sense of humor.
speak.
Yeah, let the in-laws speak. Who's the most like mom? I haven't been around David a whole lot, so, you know.
20 years.
So from what I've seen, I mean a little bit maybe, but I say Sue.
I get my good looks from her.
All right, Heidi, it's up to you. Break the tie.
I'm just kidding.
I haven't been there much around David either. I've been around you more. I have to say, Sue is pretty unique.
Yes. That's a lot to live up to.
I married you for a reason. That was a good one.
I grew up in, like I said, West Texas, and I was the oldest of 5 children. I had 3 sisters, and then when I was 13, my mother had a little boy, which was her crowning achievement in life. What I remember about my childhood was a lot of laughter. I'd mentioned earlier that my dad was an alcoholic, and he was, but he was also a very, very, very good provider for us. And as much as he could, I think he really loved us. I think girls just confused him though, and he had a whole house full. And we were all pretty much chiefs, not Indians. We were all pretty opinionated, if you can believe that. And until my nephew had committed suicide, and we'd had some other attempts of suicide when our children and my nieces and nephews were about 18 or 19, we all were able not to look at our real childhood. But that's when everything fell apart for my whole family. Up to that point, I would have said I had a happy childhood, but I know now that it was terribly dysfunctional. You know, and I'm not one to say, oh, well, it couldn't be that bad, I survived. That's not what I'm saying. But when my sisters and I shared and started talking about the feelings that we had had when we heard about Russell dying, we all began to realize we had felt those feelings before. And that was when our dad would be out of control, or our mother out of control. So, but I remember playing a lot because Daddy did so well in his work. We had a lot of advantages. We did not live a luxurious life, but we did have a nice house. I'm very much like my dad, and I did not know that. It was not okay for me to be like my father, because my mother felt, she drew a line in the sand and said it's either him or me. And so it was safer to stand on her side of the line than cross over. But so it wasn't until I was in my 40s, late 40s, early 50s that I figured out I'm like my dad. I'm exactly like my dad. And I told Harry after I'd figured this out, now I know how an adoptee feels when they find their birth parents. That was the strong feeling that I had. Oh, now I know who I am. And it was really bizarre because I didn't know I didn't know.
And I lived with, you were born there.
Yeah. Mom, yeah.
When I was, let's see, what, we moved there 9 months to 16 or 18 months.
Before you
when I was
went
a
there.
kid, yeah. When I was a baby and I learned how to walk and talk, and her sisters and brother all still lived at home. And
I was there too.
And you,
Because I was
obviously, you were older. But then I moved back with them when I was in college, and I lived with them for 3 summers when I was in college. And,
yeah.
You know, it worked for Eddie, but that family was, I mean, they had their own problems. They had their own
Right. Yeah.
But they handled it in a very different way because of the way grandmother was.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of humor, there was a lot of fun. We always had a good time. Cousins reunions were 30, 40 people.
Huge. Right.
Huge.
Tons of food.
And tons of food and tons of fun, just like this is.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get the clashing of those two personalities.
Right.
And those two families, and it's amazing that they lasted 55 years.
Who's the most like Dad?
Phil.
No.
Trust me, I know.
Wait. Is that a negative thing?
Oh, no.
No, it's not.
What's your favorite line?
Sugar's dead.
When I say something, what's your favorite line? Okay, Harry.
Actually, John says that to me too sometimes. I say that too. I do too, Harry.
She says, okay, love.
Because he's bossy. Why is Phil the most like Dad? Because he's bossy and he likes things his way.
And he's always right.
Growing up, we were all, it was a very remote family. I had an older brother and sister. My sister is 11 years older than I am. My brother is 10 years older, and then I have one 18 months older. So my oldest brother and sister, they were gone before I really was cognizant of what was going on in the world. And then my older brother, I was the baby of the family, so there was not much relationship there. I don't remember that much about my growing up. As they say sometime down in Texas, I was jerked up rather than than raised.
Well, Dad was the youngest. So Daddy Bill, his dad, Daddy Bill, me, Mom, his mom, they were older. So we'd go to visit them, not as much as we'd visit Mom's family. So when we go over there, it's kind of like, wow, Daddy Bill was so much older.
It was like walking on eggshells.
You just had to be real careful what you did and everything. It was fun going over there. I remember going over to the yard next door, had all these turtles and everything. But it was just kind of weird. It was totally different than Mom's side of the family.
Well, there was no humor.
There was no family, no laughing, none of that stuff.
Daddy Bill didn't know it.
Yeah, that was very scary. It was definitely totally opposite between Mom's side of the family.
8 years ago, I had it the first time, and I'm the first one in our family. My sisters, anybody in our family has ever had cancer. I never smoked, drank wine, but wasn't a lush, and I may be getting there, but I wasn't then. But I just was really surprised, and I kept thinking, this is a mistake. To the moment they wheeled me into surgery, I kept thinking, they're going to come running down the hall and say, wait a minute, you've got the wrong person. Here's the right file. And it didn't happen, of course. And it was real easy the first time. And the second time, I think I know what God's peace is. I have never been scared, ever. I've never felt like, woe is me, why did this happen? You know, it's just one of those things you do, you just get through. And then I had to have a mastectomy, and I had it in April the 3rd. And I told my doctors, I said, I've got a deadline here. Can we wait? And she said, absolutely not. We have to get this taken care of. And I thought, oh, this might be more serious than I thought it is. So anyway, we went ahead and had the surgery. And then we went to see Jillian graduate in Georgia and came home, and then I started radiation. And through that, and we're just doing what we have to do. They never say after you've had cancer a second time that you're cured. And I'm grateful that it happened to me at this age, and I'm not 32 running with kids running around. You know, there's a lot of good things. And I've got a good support system. We got a great medical team here. So I'm going to do what I need to do.
How much would you say your faith has had to do with your perspective?
Oh, I couldn't have done this without. Yeah. I couldn't have done a lot of the things we've had to go through without knowing that somehow, and this was from the very beginning, I didn't know a lot, but I did know that, you know, that scripture, all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. I just kept holding on to that through some of the darkest times in our lives. And back when the kids were all teenagers and they were driving Harry crazy, and he was really depressed, this was our policy. Whoever files for divorce gets the kids. And neither one of us wanted all 5 kids by ourselves, so we decided we could suck it up and stick it out. And I think a lot of people make a mistake in thinking it's just no fun, it's not what I planned on, this is it, I'm through. When, you know, like I said the other night, it's not over till the fat lady sings, and she's not on the stage yet. So.